comics, mental health, and fascinating conversation with amazing individuals. Be ready to get submerged.
What's up, people? How's it going? We are here getting submerged today, and we can't wait to show you what's going on. And when I say we, I mean me. This is Demetrius Witherspoon, writer and director of the Submerged universe. If you're just now tuning in, I want to thank you so much for coming on board. I am going to keep my comments open. So if you are on YouTube, let's see, I should be able to see chat with anyone in the studio. Yeah. So I should be able to see any comments. So if you have any questions or anything as we go along, come on board. You know, we just keeping it real and laid back. So this is a Get Submerged podcast. And, you know, there's so much going on right now. I mean, we got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out. You know, the buzz is just so crazy. Who would have think we would have got those kind of stories, that kind of movie, that combination of awesomeness all together. So I think it's going to change the face of the MCU. And so let's see what happens. I wanted to, first of all, give a shout out to Imaginarium. They are a sci-fi author and film festival in Louisville, Kentucky. And they just had their convention over the weekend. And so I've seen all the pictures and everything. It's an awesome convention. If you are a sci-fi writer, comic book creator, film director, get in there, get your films in there. It's an awesome festival and con to be at. So Imaginarium in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been there for I think 5 years, maybe 6. This year I wasn't able to make it because of circumstances, but you know, we're looking at next year of coming through there. So again, hats off to all the filmmakers that won awards at their film festival. I'm going to double check to make sure we are all live and everybody can see us. Yes, we are live. We are live. Always got to check on those things. All right. So today we wanted to talk about preparing for a stellar comic book signing and how to do that. I've been doing this over 10 years. And so not only going from working on films, but also writing, creating comic books. And so working with different artists all over the world with the artwork, but writing those stories that they kind of, with the media, they're able to combine with even the film. So transmedia, that's what I'm trying to say. So some of the characters even show up in the film. And so let me introduce some of my comics now. This was the very first issue of Light. This was a special edition that came out at PopCon Indy in 2019. And it's just the first 10 pages. And it was very limited. But if anybody got these, the cast, all these characters, the cast that played these characters were there at PopCon 2019, and so they got these, and they were limited edition, and they signed all of those. And then not too long after that, we finally got the full edition of Light. So this is one of my ones that I had in my room. So And this one, especially wrapped, I just kind of brought that out. But this one, Light, is the first edition that the figure shows up. And we kind of continue the story of Light. And she goes into the future to try to stop the Craig Empire, along with a secret mission that they had, and they seemingly come up against an unstoppable force. So Light, this is her first edition, and it's the first edition that the figure shows up in. And we have not given up on making the figure comic book. So all of those who were looking for that, it's still coming. We're working on funding. So, and then our second comic is 51X. She's an android who struggles with her humanity. And when she goes on mission, she comes up against Lord Raz. And you'll have to see how this all ends, because he's a force to reckon with. So that's the first edition that Lord Raz shows up in 51X. And she is also in Submerged Blue Star. So as her first appearance in live action. Other than the commercial, I invented 51X for, I had a Submerged perfume line, and it was 51X. And so I was like, I want a character that, I can use and will be the face of this new unisex perfume and perfume oil. And so we did it. Rachel Madison, she pulled off this character beautifully. And so we finally got a comic. Then she was in the live action. So, and also we got the metal cover, variant cover for 51X. Let me see if I can take that out of there. So all this work is done by Albert De La Cruz. And he does the cover work, and he's done the game cards that we have for Submerge, Echo 51. And then on the inside artwork, we have Fernando. He's out of Venezuela. He was in Venezuela. He did all the internal artwork for the comics. So super excited about that. And these are becoming to the signing that we have this weekend, which is at Comic Carnival. And that is on the north side of Indianapolis off of Keystone. So Comic Carnival, wonderful store, amazing store, comic book store. And it's good to support your local comic book stores. And Tim there, him and his employees, they are very knowledgeable about the comics. And so it's been great working with them. And so this is my second time doing a signing at Comic Carnival. So this weekend from 11 to 3 p.m., I will be there signing, and I will have not only the comics, but I will have the Blu-ray of the live action Submerged universe. A lot of people wonder what came first. Well, the movies came first, and then we got into the comics, and then the game and all that. So this weekend, come check me out. Come see me at Comic Carnival. So I wanted to talk about how to get ready for events. Now, I kind of talked about how to get ready for different cons and things like that, bigger conventions. Um, and that's a whole experience. But when you come to your local comic book stores, what should I be doing? Well, first of all, you want to go to your local comic book store with your first comic. And sometimes you got a lot of them printed, but go to them, let them see what you got, and say, I'm a local artist, and see if you can come in to do a signing of your comic. And you got to let people know. They're going to promote on their end, but you got to let people know. And so that's on your social media or your email. If you got a email list, you want to let everybody know that you're going to be there. And you have to look at the store also, like, where is it located? Are people going to be easily be able to find it? And the other thing is, do they have room? Some comic book stores don't have the room, or they might have an extra room that you can go in, and they have you come in and do the signing. But sometimes you just got to find a little corner. And so you have your comic, make sure it's displayed, and you want to respect the store because this is the store is open to the public. So they're there not to, some will know that you're going to be there, but some don't know that you're there with your comic. And so you want to be respectful of the ones that come in, because a lot of times they're coming in to go get their DC or Marvel comic, and but they just don't know about your comic yet. And so um you just want to be respectful, don't badger their customers, but you just want to have everything displayed, most definitely, in a way that people will want to come over and see what's going on with what you got. And um some people are shy, they don't want to come over, so you might want to say, hey, you want to check out some new sci-fi, a new sci-fi comic. This is my new sci-fi comic. So be ready, get your 30-second pitch together of what you want to say. And let me make sure. All right. Yeah, get your 30 second pitch of what you want to say to people, and just do the best you can. After a while, especially if you're getting started, it's going to take a minute to kind of get your rhythm down of what you want to do. And sometimes it's not always saying the same thing, because some people, like, they're coming in there, it's their Saturday morning, or it's their time to escape to go get the comic that they wanted at the store. So that might be their main drive. So you want to be conscious of that, but again, show them that you got something new and you're right there. So that's better than people just putting things on the shelf, uh, and just leaving it there. You are the creator, you are the author of that comic, and a lot of times, even the artist of that comic. So, uh, it's their time to meet you, learn more about what you do and your comics and where it's going. A lot of people want to know, is this going to be a one shot, or is this going to be part of a series? So you want to have that kind of together. And when you're first going out, it's not going to be easy, you're not going to have all the answers, but people are patient enough, and there are people, there's enough room. You look on the shelves of all the comics there, but there is still a little room for you and your comic. People want something different. They do, even though they're going in there to go see the Batman or the Deadpool and Wolverine comic. They are wanting something new, and sometimes they don't know that they need something new, especially in the sci-fi comic action pack comics. that you have. And so just go in there with a positive attitude, treat people the way you want to be treated, because that goes a long way. So I know for me, and I can only give you my experience. So when I go in, also, I try to, my presentation is everything. Your presentation is everything. And you might not have a lot of money at the time to make it, have a lot of shelving and all that kind of stuff. But keep it as simple as possible. Make sure you have something to cover the table. Sometimes they might have something, but have you something to cover the table. Have a little card or some stickers out of your characters or of your logo, and your website on it, or even if you have your Instagram, um, you know, all that information. If you have that, especially in a QR code, have something that you can give out to people when you have your little table set up. Again, you're respecting the area that you're given. And like I said, sometimes comic book store owners, they will have a place set up for people to come in and sign. And so it's an awesome experience because you are meeting people face to face, not just online. And you're not getting a bot. You know that somebody's not using AI to say something about your comment. You are getting it straight from the people, and real comic book readers. And so that's always important. And you'll have a fan for life. You do it right, you'll have a fan for life. So um, you just keep that in mind. And so um, with the comics that I have, because I not only over time I've not only had the comics, but I have trading cards that go with the comics, or I have posters that go with the comics. So you can go online to Vista Printing or different printing shops and get you some posters of your characters. Ones that you've drawn. Have a poster or the cover to your comic. You can use that and make a 11 by 17 poster if you can, or 8.5 by 11. But have something so people can have, uh, they're always coming to get comics, but are they getting a poster with it? Are they getting something else that they can have tangibly? And make sure you sign every piece. And so that goes. Let me see. That was one thing I didn't bring, but that goes to my next point about signing. So I'm just hitting some of the highlights of what you need to do. Okay. And again, this is the way I've done it. And over time, it's going to come easier to you. So trying to figure out where to sign for um, different ones. Some people don't want you to put anything on the cover. So you might sign on the back, or um, you don't want to cover everything. So my spot, sorry, I'm gonna pull this over here. My spot for my comic is right here, because I don't want to cover over the artist's signature. He has that there. So right in the spot is where I sign. And so you can use different media to sign with. And again, the posters, you want to get it in the right place, because not only do people they want the poster, but they don't want a signature all over the place. On top of it, you want them to enjoy your work, right? Um, so keep it to a area, and if you need to work on your signature, you can do that. Okay, so that's important. But what I use is a Sharpie. Now I found these flow really good and they dry fast. That is key too. So this is a Sharpie metallic. Uh, what is that? Metallic. I can't read it. Oh, bronze. So uh, these work really good. I mean, and you got to think about what's the colors in your comic. Is this going to show up enough? Because you know, I have signed in a black Sharpie before, but my area is pretty light, so they can see it all right. So you want to sign with something like this. If you have uh, a cover for your comic, you want to be conscious of that. Is it dry enough? Because you don't want to get anything. um, the worst would be it's not dry yet, and when you put your comic back in its cover, then it would smear, and then you have to sign another one because you just ruined their copy. So for me, I like the whole package deal, so I get these covers, and since my comics are not the normal size comics, I like these bigger ones. These are magazine size, so it gives you more to work with in imaging. And so, um, so, so with these, I get the covers that fit these perfectly. And people could get their own covers, but this kind of helps them as they're going out the store. They have something to put it in, to protect it. And if they're already buying something, they already got a bag to slide it right into. So again, I use these markers. Now sometimes I'll use one of these painter markers, but like on the toys or maybe the hats, I'll use this sometimes, but or a poster also. But these take longer to dry, and so people are waiting around for you to blow and fan these posters to get done, or for their book to dry. And you don't want it real wet. You don't want to mess up your book, but that's why I do like the Sharpies. And also, I watch very closely other famous comic book um, writers and makers. And when they're at a con or what have you, what are they signing with? And I know I can't think of their name right now. I think it starts with a P, but um, that the markers that they use to sign things. So there's all different kinds, but you want to see what works best for you, and it depends on what kind of coding your comic has on it. Um, this is kind of a shiny. I don't know if it's what weight that is. I can't remember, but you want to take that in consideration too. You want to make sure your signature is dry before they leave your table, so it don't get messed up. And and just remember, have a little something with that. If you got a flyer or something like that, a little card that talks about your universe or your characters, make sure it always leads back to your website, your social media. Even if you got a Facebook page about your drawing, or Instagram, or your TikTok, even if you got that, all of that, make sure it's in a QR code, because when people leave, and sometimes they like what they find, but you want to make it as easy as possible that they find you online. And so take in consideration all of that. And always, it's kind of like when you're uh, when you set up your table and everything, you always want to keep things kind of close. Look at the room that you have, because you don't want anybody tripping over anything. Um, I usually have a stand up poster behind me, um, for the smaller deals. Or if you can't get that, just make sure your table looks nice, because sometimes, like I said, comic book stores they might have a lot of stuff in them, and you try not to impede what people are seeing and the customers coming through. So you want to keep everything neat, and keep things close to your table, because you don't want anybody to trip or fall over your stuff. Be able to, if you can, put your stuff under your table, because your cloth will cover it. So just try to keep it as professional as you can. All right. So let's see. I am triple checking to see if there are any messages. I am going to check on Facebook. Make sure. But if you are listening to this podcast, uh, you might have to come to YouTube. Some things you visually cannot see, but I'm just trying to let you know that it's important to stay conscious of where you're signing, um, and listen to the customer. Some people don't want you to sign right there, or don't sign in that. Can you not sign in that ink? Can you use that marker? Yeah, I can do that. If you have it, and try to have multiple markers too, because sometimes these Sharpies, they've been sitting on the shelf for a while. And you don't even know if they are still working. So you want to check all of that. All right. I'm just triple checking that we are still live. All right. Hopefully everybody can still hear me. I see some likes and some hearts, so I guess we're working. But if you are able to put comments, can't post comments on destinations. I think I do have it open. All right. Okay. All right. So I am looking at Facebook. So if you are leaving in the comments, I will try to catch those. It's always tricky trying to manage this, and also checking and monitoring, making sure everything's working on the other side. So, but that's the way it goes. When I'm at comic book stores, so some people don't are not able to speak out in public as much, and sometimes it's hard for people. Sometimes it's hard for me, but I enjoy what I do, and if you're passionate about what you do, you want to let people know about it, and so that's what I've done over the years with not only my comics but with my films. You got to let people know what it's about, and give them options if you can. You got your comic. What else can you give them? Like I said, a sticker, some kind of card, some kind of poster. Um, so with me, I have the movies, I have a novel, I have um, the comics. I got trading cards. I have a card game that's based off of the series. And what is my series about? Well, it's about a lady that gets thrown into a multi universe, and she has to find her way out and fight for her daughter. She's been experimented on. And so so it just goes off from there. Nairi and her daughter and their journey, and then we're starting to split off into other places, and also other characters. So like, um, the figure's been in, um, like, four of the films, and so now we're starting to tell the story of the figure and kind of a origin story, but uh, kind of continuing his journey. And so I've been working on that, even also an animated series for the figure. Been pitching that and working on that. So there's so much that's in the pipe coming. Uh, I try to keep everybody abreast of what's going on, but I appreciate everybody's support. Um, if you are able, when it comes to comics, if you have a main character, sometimes you can. Maybe find an actress or a model that looks like your character and have them dress up to be that character when you're doing a signing. People always love that, and that gives them a photo op with your character. Also, it helps that model. Also, she or he or they have um, they have work or body of work that they're able to show, like, hey, I was a model, you know as I modeled this character at the comic store for this writer, for this director. um, so that gives them something also. So you can check with your best friend, or go online, go to a model pages on Facebook, and see if there's a local model, somebody that wants to. They might have something close to what the costume that you have. Um, and For me is a little bit easier because I have all the costumes. These are not just drawings; these are the costumes that they were wearing. So I'm able to, um, you know, get the right person, and you know, if it's a little bit of makeup, we'll do that. But usually, you get the right person in there to model when your characters, or cosplay one of your characters. Now, the easiest for me is my soldiers, because they have a mask on. Let me see if I got a picture of one of those. They have a mask on. They're all dressed in black, and I already have the weaponry and the armor. So I can have I can have them show up, anybody. It doesn't matter who, and they can be wearing that, and people love that. They're able to take pictures with them, and if you get the right person, they get to sign stuff too. So I'm not I'm not picky about you know I'm not stingy with my signings. But it's fun to really bring everybody together, and those things people will remember. Just think of a little kid that, you know, or when you got to go see somebody that you admired, or you admired their art, and you were able to go speak to them about what they do, learn a little something, uh, and get something signed, or get some of their work. Uh, and so, and I always bring something new, so you'll have to see what that is this weekend if you come by. But I always have something new when I come to a comic book signing, um, because I want people to get submerged. I want people to enjoy themselves, especially if it's their very first time learning about submerged. It's like I'm getting something that nobody else has. or I'm the first to get it, and especially if it's numbered and everything. So that's always exciting to me. Um, let me. So the next thing, when you after you set up, you're done. Always leave the place you way it was when it first came in. You don't leave your paper, you throw away stuff. You want to be conscious of really not having any drinks near anything because it's all comics in there, and you don't want to get nothing on anything. Or if you have a drink, if they allow it, you might want to put it near your chair or something that's closed up. It's not exposed to everything. Um, but always leave this place the way you found it. That is so important. Um, and that has been our rule, even when we film. If we went in filming in a public place, a restaurant, or a studio, clean it. Take all your junk out, your trash, everything, because if you ever want to go back and do it again, then they'll either remember that, hey, he left his junk everywhere, left stuff there. uh you know they'll remember those things, and so yeah, that's not how you want to be remembered. And so uh make sure whenever you're in a place, even if you're at a con, um clean up everything, keep it the way you found it, because someday, in some way, you want to go back, and they want to have you back. And I've found that people want to support you, and not every comic book store will. I've had stories of me personally where I went into places and they would not take my work, and the manager wouldn't come out, talk to me. And so happened while I'm standing there, uh, I hear this voice from a lady say, "Are you Demetrius Witherspoon?" And uh, I say, "Yeah." She's like, "That is that the comics Submerged? Are you putting it in the store? Are they going to get it here?" She was excited that it might be possibly in the store, and this guy's just looking at me like a deer in headlights. Uh, and so that was a experience. And no, they did not take my comic in their store. But you guess what? I sold that comic right there in front of them to that lady. She's like, "Can I get a copy?" Because she had been following me online, on Facebook. So, and thank God. I mean, she uh, even came to the premiere of one of my films. So I'm really thankful for that. Um, but you just never know. So you're gonna get some no's. Some people that don't, you know, they don't want to support. They just got their, comics. They're already kind of struggling. Comic book stores are, and so some don't have the capacity, or they don't want to support local um, artists and comic books. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying every comic book store, but there are some out there. So I'm just preparing you for the no. So when you go in to present yourself, be ready. Have your comic together. Maybe have a business card somewhere where they can go look and find out more about you before they just have you come in. And so try to be as professional as you can and respectful as you can. So, I didn't name that comic book store. And I just know that was a beautiful moment when somebody recognized who I was and what I had. right there in front of them as they're denying me the chance to have my work into their comic book store. So I I guess they didn't need my work. You know, I guess I didn't need that comic book store. So you dust the dirt off, dust off, and go to the next one. Um, so that's been my experience. But 9 times out of 10, I've had positive response from comic book stores, and some great comic book store owners, because they know how hard it is. And when you're it's a collaborative effort, because you are not only just having your comic book in the store, you are promoting them also. You are promoting their comic book store, and you want to do that and give a shout out to them, because not just because your book's there, it's because they are still carrying the torch of these powerful books, comic books. Um, they've been that way for a long time, for years. Comic books have been a way to educate people, not only entertain, but educate people. Some people have not been able to read that well, but comic books, along with the wording, has helped them to, you know, become better readers and things like that. And now, and just also the stories that we've gotten now. There's everything. Everything that you thought couldn't be a comic is a comic and a movie now. And so, yeah, everything that now comics, it's an everyday thing to see them being turned into IP that is successful, streaming or at the theater. So, So one of the last things I want to do is give a shout out to Katie O'Brien. Um, Katie O'Brien was in Nairi Reborn, and then she was in another film of mine. If you don't know about actor Katie O'Brien, um, go look up the article Deadline. Let me see if I can bring that up. Deadline did a write up on her a while back, but it's circulating again because everything is. She's in the new. Let's see. Hold on. She is in the new Twister that just dropped last weekend, which is really doing good at the box office. So Twisters with an S. She's in that, but they did announce that um, the Love Lies Bleeding breakout Katie O'Brien joins the 8th Mission Impossible. So Katie O'Brien up there with Tom Cruise and doing her thing. I am so proud to be able to see her expand her craft. No, she didn't stop or start in my film, but um, along her journey, we were able to have the experience to work with Katie. I personally was able to work with her 3 times. Two is my film, and then another a sci-fi film that she was in, and just always knew she was amazing. When you, as a director, see somebody amazing, you just has that star power. There's there's nothing else like it. And so always say onward and upward. So I am not taking the I don't know. I didn't discover her, but Katie is cool people and she is doing her thing. And so she's going to be in the 8th Mission Impossible. I wanted to see if I can bring up that picture, and I might not be able to. Let's try. No. Um, no. But if you go take a look for a deadline, it's the March 22nd, 2024. Just look up Mission Impossible, Katie O'Brien. And uh, she is a Submerged Universe alumni, and her character was Elon in Submerged Nairi Reborn. And so check that out on Submerged Universe TV. .com, our streaming service, and you'll be able to see all 5 films there. But again, I just wanted to get on and for one thing, again, a big shout out to Katie O'Brien. I just wanted to get on and talk about how to prepare for your comic book signing. These are just a few things that I've learned over the years. It's not everything, and everybody's experience is different depending on where you live at. But the one thing that is the same in every city is that comic books are powerful media and storytelling. And so never cut yourself short of your storytelling. And the visuals that you've had drawn or you've drawn in your comic are so key, and those stay with people forever. So keep those in mind and never give up. Just keep pushing. You'll be able to have a signing yourself. Um, all you need is one. All you need is one yes, and all you need is one time to be able to do that. Uh, Another quick thing before I sign off here, um, you want to be able to have a square reader for your phone. They got all different kinds, but you want to be able to take credit card, and because not everybody has cash these days, so you want to look at all your different ways of being able to, Cash App, Zelle, all these different ways to be able to take, um, payment. So have those things together, and make sure everybody gets their receipt, and have a blast. If you can get some shirts made, I know these are my Submerged Universe shirts. Um, I sell those at my cons. That helps get people submerged, and people try to, get some artwork that uh, you know that you enjoy for one thing, but other people enjoy also. And don't think of just that day. Think of that day and beyond. Okay, you're not just selling books just for one day, or you're not just doing autographs that one day. These things are gonna go further. Try to have something else lined up after this. If you can get this one down, maybe go out to some other stores, and you might have to go outside of your city. Might have to go, if you're in a small town, you might have to go to a bigger city and try to get in there and see if you can do a signing, and just have fun with it. And it all comes back to you because people remember you, especially if you're kind. And it's not all about just signing comic books. Okay, it's about meeting people and giving your artwork and part of you out to other people that are going to enjoy your story world that you've built, that's come from your head down to paper, or down to your artist, or down to yourself drawing. So you're giving that to people, and they're enjoying that, and you're giving them something new. And so never count yourself short. Okay, because those things are it's important. It is important. You are important. So I just want to tell everybody that, because sometimes, and you know, sometimes it seems like, nothing's happening, and you might not get all the sales that you want. You have in your mind what you want to do, and make sure your prices are um, feasible. Because remember, they got comic books all around them. They can get some for 3.99 or 99 cent or 50 cent in the 50-cent box, or a dollar. Um, Probably not 50 cent anymore, but uh, they might have some dollar bins in there. But 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 keep it feasible, you know, and remember, it's more than, like I said, just trying to get an autograph. It's not all about that. It's about giving your art and a piece of yourself to other people so they can enjoy. And again, it's people are gonna either like it or hate it. You got to remember that too. And so, as an artist and as a creator, you have to have thick skin, very thick skin. And because there are people that, as you already know, that might not like what you have, or they might say, "No, I don't want none of that. That looks like such and such." They might say that right to you. So you got to have thick skin and say, "You know what? That's not for you." And I'm saying all this because I've had it said directly to my face, you know. And so you just brush that off and just keep going. Never give up, um, because you never know who's watching while you are there presenting your work to the world. And some people are not going to say anything, but they might be the person that can get you into the next door. So just always be professional, and remember that there are always people watching, and they might not say anything this time, but next time you do a signing somewhere, or they see you doing a presentation, or your comic books are out at a Comic Con, they're going to remember. They're going to remember you, and they're going to remember if you had a conversation with them, especially the kids. Just always keep in mind that kids are impressionable, and so when they see a comic book creator, an artist, a lot of times I've had kids go home, grab their artwork, their little pad, their artwork, and bring it back to me so I can see it, and that's amazing. You know, they want their artwork to be seen. And I remember myself as a young artist, I didn't have access to all that. I didn't have access to comic book stores. Back then, well, in the small town where I come from, Bardstown, Kentucky, uh, you had to go in a local, maybe Walmart, or maybe to a little gas station or something, and there might be racks of comics in there. There was nobody signing comics. You either had to go to the bigger cities to really see that, and there was no cons in our area. At least I didn't know of. That you could go see the artist and the person that's done that Spider-Man cover or Superman cover, and or know anybody that's done their own independent comic, in which um, over the years that's come more of a thing to be able to see independent comic book creators. So never doubt yourself, and like I said, be kind to uh, the kids, and even ones that are want to be a comic book creator. Remember, you've done more than a lot of other people. Even if you, as your first comic, you at least got it done, and that's more than anybody else has done. So just remember that, not in a cocky way, but you've succeeded in that. And so I just say all those things because nobody was there when I was doing that the first time, and so you need to hear those things because there's going to be some days you're not going to sell any comics, and you're really like, what is going on? And it's not about you, you know. Um, Sometimes people are just into what they want to see or what they want to do, or they want to see what's going to happen first, and then maybe later on they come back uh, to check out your comic, check out your work. So let me see if there's any questions before I sign off here. All right. So, um, if you have any questions or anything at any time, just put it in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I know a lot of famous people that are comic creators, and they are stellar comic creators, and we can find out the answer together because you know you teach one and another one learns. Everybody is learning something new. So you never want to stop learning. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you find this comic, this preparing for a stellar comic book signing helpful. Um, Again, go out and make your own experience. I just try to give what little bit information that I do have out to others. If you think of something new that can be helpful to others on preparing for a comic book signing, put it in the comments. Be kind when you do it because there are people that just naturally want to learn and they don't know. And so, um, so yeah, leave that in. DM me if you got questions, and I'll try to help. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And if you want to check out my films, you can go to Submerge Universe TV.com and check out the all 5 films. We also got an animated pilot that was done by Tobias, a fan of Submerge. And also, you can check out our novel and also the comics. We're going to have a lot of this over the weekend at Comic Carnival on Saturday. So I hope to see you there. Come on out, meet me. I want to meet you at Comic Carnival on the northwest side of Indianapolis. I'll be there from 11 to 3 p.m. And of course, I'll be going live from the comic book store because that's what we do. We want to represent, but also show love to the comic book store and everybody there when you're there. So I am getting off of here. Thank you, everybody, for getting submerged. I'm Demetrius Witherspoon, writer and creator of the Submerged Universe. Peace.